Guys, welcome. You know, it's young boy Marlon and I have another video for you today, guys. So today I'm going to be talking about communism and democracy. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And also, I would like you to leave a comment in the comment box. Let me know what you think about today's video. Also, share. Alright, so today, guys, we're going to be talking about, for all the countries that have a democracy, that when they run their election, they have two runners, two parties, two separate parties, and the people are going to decide in which one they want to lead the country. Depends on who get the higher vote. And it's a government that is our president by the people, of the people, for the people, that was elected by the people, not just elect themselves and put themselves in power and dictate to the people and tell them what they can and can't do. So now you're in America, we have a democracy, and a lot of other countries out there. In Jamaica, where I'm from, we also do have a democracy, where we have an election every 4 years and the people decide who they want to be their president. You know, sometimes they make good choices, and sometimes the person who they elected for president doesn't always do a great job. And sometimes they do a great job, and sometimes they don't reach up to the people's expectation of what they think that they would have been doing for the country coming in. Okay, so with the communism now, the communism countries, they do not have an election. They have a leader there that dictates to the people and tell them what they can and can't do. They govern everything. And what they do, they keep the people down underneath their feet so that they don't come out to be anything. They don't want them to be independent thinkers. They don't want them to have any decision of their own. So they dictate to them and tell them what they can and what they can't do. And it's a bad situation for the people of those countries. And these countries that are running by dictators, these people running as dictators, they are people that is coward. They don't want to have another person running against them because it would be a competition. And now, the chances of them winning and able to run that country would be a 50-50 chance, or sometimes even less, depending on the candidate that they're running against. So for countries who run under dictatorship, the dictator decided the people in fate. They try to keep the people down, like, say, for example, places like China that is run by dictators. A lot of the people in China, they do not like the Chinese government just because he's not a great person for the country. He does not look out for the best interests of the people. He look out for the best interests of himself. Yes, as a dictator in a country, probably they do a lot of good things to improve the country, the life of the country, but not too much of the life of its people. The wages that they pay them, they try to keep them to where the amount of money that they make is to keep the people in a certain position at all times, to make sure that they're not going to get too independent, that they're always going to be dependent, so they can always depend on them. In a dictatorship country, they also keep women down. There's a lot of things that in some of these dictating countries that women can't do. For example, some of these countries, the women are not allowed to drive. Some of them, they're not allowed to make any decision at all. All the decision is on the men. It's not a 50-50 or even a 40-60 on decision making around the household. The woman doesn't have much of any right at all. All the right is to the men. And say like places in China where they have a lot of manufacturing companies, and places like the US and other big countries around the world, they'll use the Chinese manufacturing to produce a lot of their products. And the government decided in what the people will get for their wages. They pay them really low wages. And these companies who come in and get their products made there, they are paying top dollars, and they're getting it cheaper than they'd make it bill in their own country, and that's the only reason why they're over there doing it. but the government make most of the money from those companies who make it, and the people who are doing the labor, they are seeing small percentage of that money that came in for building these products. They also, the people them cannot speak out on anything that is going on around the country, else they'll either go to jail, or some places they probably even get killed or tortured. I think that people who countries are running under dictatorship, that the dictator is a coward person, and that's why he has such regime on his people. He does not want a competition up there, because he knows if there was a competition in who's going to run in the country, that he'd have to clean up his act and do better for its people, because there would be a chance that if he didn't do good after the first 4 years, there would be a chance that you wouldn't win the next election. So when there is a two-party running against each other in a country that have a democracy, it forces those governments, sometimes even in those countries they don't do 100% good, but at least it forces them to do better than they would in a country that is ruled under a dictator. So I heard that in China. I was talking to this lady the other day that I work with that is from China. And what she's saying is, in China, you can't say anything bad about the Chinese leader, because if you do, you could go to prison, you can get in serious trouble. And a lot of those people that are serving these dictators, they have been brainwashed deeply, so they think that these dictators are doing their solely best for them, when they're not really doing their best for them. They're just doing the minimum for their people. And the military that they use to govern these people, those military workers, they have mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters and cousins, nieces and nephews that are under these regime, and if they don't serve the dictator, he cannot do this work on his own. So the people that he or she is over, that is leading these people them in the wrong direction, the people them are the ones that are still giving the strength to these dictators, because if they decided not to carry out their duties that they're supposed to carry out for them in fighting and killing their own people, then the dictator could not do it on his own. He could not outnumber the people. So I think one of the big problem is in order to get rid of dictatorship, instead of having other countries coming in and fighting the battle for the people to free them from these slavery mentality, is that if they stand up for themselves and refuse from the top down, from the military workers that are carrying out the military duty in either shooting these people them down or whatever they're doing. Because I heard that long years ago back in China, where the college students, they were out at the campus, they were protesting about their leaders and what's going on, which is wrong, and they want better for themselves and for their people, and they wouldn't come out, and they called down the military, and they went out there and plowed them down with these tankers. They shoot them down, which was really sad, that if you're a leader for country and you love your people, that for a protest you would do such thing. So what they're doing is they're driving fear in these individuals to keep them at bay, so that they can always overpower them mentally. The other one again with King Jong-un, he's another dictator that governs his people, and these people, man, they are so brainwashed. You can't blame too much on the people, but they are so brainwashed by these leaders. You know, their mental health is not there. They have been tricked, brainwashed back and forth, that they listen to these leaders. They let these leaders, because it's just one guy up there as a coward, and he's using these people in order to govern their own self. So if you are living in a dictator country and you do not like what's going on. I know you can't just stand up on your own because you're risking losing your life. But the people of the country can unite and come together and fight against dictators so that you can live free, because this world been around for too long for people to still be living in fear and be living and serving a man like he's God over the people when he's nothing. He's just a coward that is standing up there and dictating to the world, or dictating to everyone in its country, and having the people and doing their dirty work to govern each other for him. So guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope it makes sense to you. Alright, and please remember to share, like, and comment. Peace out.